On a Friday afternoon in January, my baseball coach, Terry Knowles, called me and two friends of mine, Mark Fickling and Freddie Gurgis, into his office and asked us if we wanted to go duck hunting with him on Saturday morning. We were in the 11th grade and Coach Knowles was bigger than life for us. He played on every semi-pro football team that our hometown had for the last 20 years, and he was a big man. So we wanted to go with him and go duck hunting. He told us to meet him in the back parking lot at 5:30 a.m. on Saturday and be ready to go shoot some ducks. So I went home with the intention of talking to my dad about it. See, my dad and I hunted together when I was a little kid, and I got away from it because as I got older and baseball and cars and girls entered the picture, Dad and I didn't spend much time together doing a whole lot of anything, including hunting. Well, he was real excited about it. He offered his semi-automatic 12-gauge Browning shotgun with the Belgian barrel. You can't get those anymore. I must have heard that 1,000 times. He also had an ammo box that looked like a lunchbox for a construction worker that was full of shotgun shells. So I had my shotgun and my shotgun shells, and the only thing that the coach had told us to be prepared for was he said, bring your waders. I didn't have any waders. I looked all over our garage, all of our hunting camouflage and all of that. I couldn't find a thing, but I had an idea. I got up early on Saturday morning, about 4:30, and got myself a couple of hefty garbage bags and pulled them up over my long underwear. I went into my parents' bathroom and got a pair of my mother's pantyhose and pulled them up over the garbage bags. You can kind of see where this is going. And I went out in the washroom, got some duct tape, and duct tape everything in place. So, ta-da, waders. Put on my overalls and my Elmer Fudd hunting hat and grabbed my shotgun and my ammo box, and off I went. Fick and Freddie and Coach and me piled into Coach's pickup truck like 4 Cupid dolls sitting across the front seat, and off we went for Stark, Florida, off of Highway 301. We pulled onto this dirt road and drove down it for a few miles and stopped and got out and looked around, and the sun was just starting to come up. But you couldn't see it because it was just a slate gray sky, battleship gray. Low fog kind of hanging around on the ground here and there. Coach said, this is perfect duck weather. So Coach told Fick to come with him. He told Freddie and me to go in the opposite direction, and we're going to walk in opposite directions down this dirt road from the truck. He said walk down there for about 10 minutes and then turn into the woods and then turn back towards us, and we'll meet in the middle and ducks will never see us coming. So off we went. All three of us were accustomed to just doing whatever the coach told us to do. So Freddie and I went down, turned into the woods, and it's mostly pine straw on the ground and big pine trees and sable palms, and everything kind of have a wet smell, those pockets of fog around. But Freddie suggested that he and I split up, move about 50 or 60 yards apart, and we'd cover more ground. Sounded like a good idea. So we start down to the woods, and this fog gets heavier and heavier. And I look around after I've been walking for what I guess is probably 200 yards. I can't see Freddie. I look and look. No Freddie. So I keep moving in the direction of Coach and Fick, and the palm trees and the pine trees and pine straw kind of give way to cypress trees and water the color of iced tea. And it's up lapping over the top of my boots. And as I move forward, it moves up a little higher and a little higher. And before I know it, this water is above my knee, and it is cold. I haven't seen any Freddie, I haven't seen any ducks. And as I'm standing there taking a break from all this slogging through the water, I hear wings flapping overhead, and I look up and something goes by me really fast. I'm like, ducks, time to shoot a duck. So I take my dad's ammo box and I hold it between my knees, and then I try to get into a shooting position with a shotgun. I think I probably look like a baby giraffe being born. I'm trying to hold myself there, and I see birds coming at me, and I get ready, and I'm just about to pull the trigger on the first one I see, but it's a buzzard. It ain't a duck. And then another one and another one. Must have been 50 of them. They're standing there circling overhead. Not a good sign. I'm standing there questioning my skills as an outdoorsman. I decide it's time to move forward and see if I can actually find some ducks or get out of this mess. And as I'm walking, the water gets a little higher and a little higher. And finally, I take one more step and I drop into the water about up to my neck. I'm holding my dad's shotgun and the ammo box over my head, scared to death. My homemade waders fill up with water. I'm standing there thinking, I'm going to drown in this dadgum swamp. I'm going to drop my dad's shotgun in this water and he is never going to forgive me. I don't know how long I stood there. It felt like for about half an hour. I couldn't go backwards because I couldn't get back up that little slope. I had just slid down into this deep puddle. So one way to go, forward. I moved forward a little bit. I made it out. As soon as I got where I could walk, I took a hard right and went back to that dirt road and made a beeline to Coach's truck. Took my dad's shotgun, put it in its protective case behind the seat of the truck, and I stripped down buck naked, built myself the biggest fire I could possibly build. I'll tell you how big it was. It was bigger than me. I'm kind of task-oriented, so I didn't even realize it until I looked up and flames were taller than I was. I took my clothes, my shirt and long underwear and overalls and socks, and hung them on a tree branch that was near the fire so they could dry out. And I sat there bare-bottomed on the tailgate of that truck, got myself warmed up. I don't think I dozed off, but I kind of snapped to, smelling something burning, thinking, oh Lord, I have set the woods on fire. But I didn't set the woods on fire. I did set my clothes on fire. So I knocked them off the branch, jumped up and down on them, put the fire out. And I thought about Fick and Freddie and why I was there and the fact that they were the cool kids. And I desperately wanted to be with them and be one of the cool kids. And I'm standing there over my singed clothes, buck naked except for my boots, in the middle of nowhere, when it really did dawn on me that I was not then, nor would I ever be, one of the cool kids. Put my shirt on, which smelled like burned marshmallows, and the whole shirt tail was gone. And I put my overalls on, but they were now shorts. Before I knew it, Freddie and Fick and Coach were walking up that dirt road. Nobody had even seen a duck. They took one look at me and laughed their tails off. I thought they might hurt themselves. They were laughing so daggum hard. We laughed all the way back to school. They told kids in school the next week about it. Everybody laughed about it and laughed at baseball practice. I never did tell my dad. But a couple weeks after that, at dinner with my mom and my dad and my brother, unsolicited, my dad asked me if I wanted to borrow his shotgun and go swimming next weekend. He and Coach were friends, and word had gotten back. It's been almost 40 years, and I can still make my dad laugh like a damn fool by asking him if I can borrow his shotgun to go duck hunting. I saw him laugh the way he used to laugh when we were together out in the woods hunting and fishing, and it makes me smile to think about that. I love my dad.